What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Golly Potential Trades YouTube channel. Back at you with another video. This video is going to be the latest update within this crazy trading journal or trading journey of mine. So today is December the 2nd, 2025. It's a cold day here, snow everywhere outside. But anyway, today in the markets, the market's kind of all over the place. The market ran up, it ran down, it ran up, and it's running back down now. And it looks like it might be heading higher a little later in the day. However, I was able to capitalize on a move based around my strategy, and it was a nice little runner. So if I can pull that up really quickly. Give me 1 second. So while I'm pulling this up, I believe the last video I made, I was talking about my current status within my E8 account, which I believe at the time was up like about 3% or something like that. Yesterday, I got it up to around 4%. Hold on, okay. And today with this trade, I am up. Let's see. See if you can see this. Let's get the focus. 5.4%. Let's see if we can get the focus. All right. .4%, and you can see that green target is a target. Target is 6%. So, not gonna lie, I've been trading this account pretty well. Drawdown is not even close to being hit. And of course, I'm running this from a trade copier. So the trades I take that get took on this also get copied to the other trade, the other accounts that I'm in. But yeah, this has just been the trade so far, just getting the base hits, Each one is like a double trade, basically. But yeah, just getting the base hits. And a lot of times where I trade, if I take a loss, typically that just means the move isn't going in the direction, and I can enter into the other direction and usually win. This is one of the 100K accounts I have. I'm currently up 7% on that. Target is 110. I'm at 107. Win rate 68%. 31 trades or 13. I can't really tell. It's backwards. Yeah, so yeah, just been getting the base hits. But I remember one of the earlier videos I made saying that I really feel like I have it now. Like this is when I'm about to start exponential growth, and it's showing. And it was mainly one of the videos when I was talking about when I uncovered the unconscious beliefs that I had that were blocking me, as well as just the other stuff, the pre-trade questions I asked myself. Basically, if I lose this trade, will I say, fuck, I know I should have taken this trade, and just maintaining awareness when I'm in the markets. And so clearly it's paying off. But what I really wanted to talk about today is just a concept, you can say, an analogy that I was thinking about as it relates to us being new to these markets, coming to the market, still trying to figure it out. So the way I kind of looked at it is like, whenever we come to the markets, it's the mirror that reveals ourselves to us, right? It exposes our triggers. And like the saying, life will present you with people and circumstances to reveal where you're not free. Well, these circumstances reveal to us, these circumstances reveal the market, reveal to us where we're not free, or where we're blocked, where we have these constraints. And so I was thinking about this, and they say a good way to look at your losses is you're just paying tuition to the market, right? You say this just you're learning in the learning process. But I kind of look at it like whenever we're in the markets, and every time we take that loss, every time we take that trade that we shouldn't have taken, every time we FOMO, we over leverage, blow an account, whatever it is, we're just paying down the debt. And that debt pretty much goes to our limited beliefs. And so I kind of look at it like when we were younger, we borrowed a story that we tell about ourselves. But by borrowing this, it was like a high interest loan. But we didn't care about the loan at the time. We didn't know about the interest rates and all that stuff. We just like, dude, I need some relief right now. I need a story that lets me know, like, to essentially explain to me what this just happened means about me, or a protection mechanism, something. And so we pretty much took on this loan, but over time it's just been building up debt and more debt. But the thing is, we only pay down this debt whenever the trigger comes up, whenever we are triggered. And so typically, unless we're dealing with people who constantly push our buttons and push certain buttons, we're not going to be exposed to these contracts that we've written with our younger selves. However, being in the markets, they do reveal them on a daily basis. You know, every time we get in a trade and we don't follow our trading plan, that thing comes up. And so I was looking at it like, we're not even paying tuition to the market yet. We're paying this debt off that we have with our internal self, with our subconscious. And I think there's like two paths we can take. We can be the trader who just keeps hitting their head against the wall for years and years and years and years, just paying down that debt, paying down that debt, paying down that debt, until eventually the interest is gone and the debt is cleared. And then they begin to make money. Because it's like, whenever you're in debt and you're paying it off, it's like we're just throwing money away, it feels like it. Because I'm like, man, I got this money, but yeah, I got to pay down this debt. So it's really like I don't have it, you know? So people are telling you to invest, but how can I invest and stack up when I got debt to pay off? And that's kind of how it is in the markets. So that's the first path I feel like somebody can take. Just keep going year after year after year, which that's kind of like what I've been doing. I've been trading since 2012. Not 2012, that's wrong, 2019. So like right before COVID. So that's like kind of like the first approach. But then the second approach is, I think we start out, we paying down this debt, but then we start doing the internal work around it, and we figure out what that deep core wound is, or that core subconscious constraint, that limiting belief is. And then we work on that. And it's not even about working on it. Honestly, awareness is change. They say change starts with awareness, but awareness is change. So just shedding light on that shadow, it takes the power away and we can get rid of it. And so just figuring out what that subconscious thing is, we shed light on that, and it strips the power away. It's like these memories we have, these ideas about ourselves, they're like little packages within us that contain energy. That's why when you go back into your mind, you think about an emotion and it still has electrical charge to it, right? It still makes you super angry, still makes you super sad, makes you depressed, makes you happy, whatever it is. That memory contains energy, and so does these stories. And so shedding the light on that just releases that energy from it. So then that's when you can think about it, you can talk about it, and you don't get as emotional anymore. So I kind of look at it like that. So once we shed light on that, that's like paying down the debt, like in full, or paying off the majority of it, 90% of it. So then when you come to the markets, you got you're a new person essentially. And then you begin to trade with this new framework. And then you may take a few losses and it still might bubble up, but you can say, hold on, that's actually not me. I used to think that I'm not enough, but actually I am not enough. Actually, I've always been enough, or whatever the belief that you have is, right? And then just reprogram that. And then that clears out the debt. And then from that point, that's when you become the overnight success, right? It took you 6 years to become an overnight success. That's when the growth is exponential. But it's like, man, I've been hacking away at this thing for the longest. And maybe that's why people say you don't really have that aha moment, or that moment when you just realize you're profitable. Because I'm sure it just happens. It's almost like consolidation, right? And then it's just an impulse. That's kind of how it seemed like it goes. But yeah, that's kind of how I was looking at this thing. So I'm like, we come into the markets brand new, and we have these subconscious beliefs that are hindering us, that we developed, we took on at an early age. And every loss, everything that triggers that core wound, so long as we look at it, we're paying down that debt. But it's not until we get to the roots, that core, then we pay down that in full. That's when you can prosper, It's just like real life. Once you pay down that debt in full, you're like, now I can actually do something, right? Like, how great is to pay off a car? You're like, dude, I don't got to pay that anymore. How great would it be to not have to pay a mortgage or rent, just student loan debts or consumer debts with credit cards and stuff, right? That's where you can really make some serious gains. And I think it's the same in these markets. But yeah, so these unconscious, subconscious limiting beliefs we have, they're just loans that our younger selves, these high interest loans that our younger selves took out, not thinking about the future, just thinking about, okay, here and now, I need to protect myself, or I need to make sense of what just happened or what's going on, which, ultimately they're like a protection mechanism. And so when you think about it too, it's crazy how this stuff manifests. Because take, for instance, let's say somebody has the belief that they're clumsy, right? This is just a random example. If they have the belief that they're clumsy, and it's a deep embedded belief, that the universe is going to bring that to you, It's going to mirror that back to you. It's going to put you in situations to prove you right. Because if you have the belief that you are clumsy, you're going to be put in situations that confirms that clumsiness. You're carrying a birthday cake, right? You're finna go present this to, your niece or your nephew. Then you trip and fall in the doorway. Boom. Of course it happened to me. I'm so clumsy, And you can just extend this across all of the limiting beliefs, AKA, I always break under pressure. That's when you're in a trade right before you hit that profitability, right before you pass that account, and then you self-sabotage. Or not only that, not the whole, like the whole self-sabotage thing, I think that has to do with being seen or having the belief that you're not good enough yet. Because if you're in a constant loop, if you have a real deep down belief that you're not good enough yet, you need a better strategy, you need more practice, you need more mentoring, you need more coaching, right? You have imposter syndrome, all this and that. Well, right before you're about to pass that threshold of being profitable, getting that payout, passing that account, that's when you self-sabotage. You're like, of course, yeah, I need to go back to the drawing board. Yeah, I need more coaching. I need this because I'm not ready yet. It's just going to keep reaffirming that stuff. But yeah, that's kind of how I was looking at this. And I was like, I think that's a good way to actually look at this. So honestly, it's like either you can take route A or route B, or you can just keep hitting your head against the wall and try to, power your way through it, just making these small payments towards these unconscious beliefs and the markets, or you could just actually dive deep into what's holding you back and take out a large amount of that debt and just deal with just the residual residue or whatever, and then come to the markets, and then the learning curve will be a lot shorter, and then exponential growth. Because honestly, it's happening to me in real time. Like, just being transparent, like I had to believe that I wasn't good enough, right? And I tracked it down back to childhood. Well, this really came to an end like rather recently. Like, I'll be honest, yesterday I was driving home. It was snowing and shit. I just got off of work, had a good day at work. It's my Friday. I'm feeling good, whatever, not thinking about anything. And then a Kevin Gates song came on. And I love this song. It's a song, I can't think of the title right now, but the chorus go, God got me, woke me up, took me in, set me down, broke me down, said make me proud. I came up, I rose up out the mud. What do you say after that? Don't trust nobody, so in God I trust, or something like that. And that part right there just opened the floodgates. I don't know, I just got hit with a overwhelming amount of energy. And then the tears just started flowing. And I'm just like, what the fuck is happening? And I'm trying to drive to Walmart actually, and the tears are just going. And every time the chorus will come on, the tears are just flowing. And then in my head, what popped up was, I've always been enough. And then that shit just kept popping in my head, and I just started saying it out loud. And the tears were just fucking rushing down. And like, that was, to me, I was like, where did that come from? And then later that night, actually this morning, I woke up, I had a dream, and essentially it was about me stepping up, right, into my power and fully being passed the torch in my lineage. Like, all right, I'm going to be the one to carry my siblings, to a higher level. And it all stemmed from being on the charts, seeing what triggered me, really zeroing in on that, and then working through that. And then just over time, shit start bubbling up, and then I deal with it, and then I deal with it. Until now, when that big massive flood just came through. Because when the tears start coming, that's when like, you're going through an energetic shift, right? That's cleansing happening, right? Same thing when you're yawning, you're vomiting, whatever, you're releasing shit. And so, yeah, I say all that to say, like, everything we do in life can be a mirror. And I think this is a great mirror. This is a great teacher. So allow it to teach you. Don't just, allow this to help you become a better being. Because me personally, I believe we're here to evolve. We're here to graduate, right? This is just a huge university in the universe, right? It's probably why it's called a university. And so if that's the case, don't forget the reason why we're here is to graduate. Yeah, we can get caught up in the sports and the relationships and the partying in this college. But don't forget, we're here to graduate though. And I think once you master the physical, which is attaining financial freedom, then you can work on that spiritual growth, because deprivation of the physical will lead to deprivation of the spiritual. At least that's how I want to choose to look at it. Anyway, enough of me rambling. These videos I do, man, they be long. How long is this video? About 20 minutes. Okay, it's not as long as I thought, but anyway, I hope this video was helpful. Once again, just sharing the thoughts I have along my trading journey. Hopefully the volume not too crazy. It sounded like it was an echo in there. Hopefully it went away. Hopefully it's not too distracting. But yeah. How's your trading week? How's your trading week going? It's only Tuesday. I mean, we still got the rest of the week to go. Hopefully I can catch a good setup tomorrow. Go ahead and pass at least one of these accounts. Put the other one pretty close to passing. And then, yeah, just run it up. Because then I also opened up a personal account too. Because honestly, if you think about it, if you have a $10,000 account, but you can only, and your profit target is 10%, and you can only lose $1,000. Really, if you open up $1,000 account, this is with Forex though, you can't do this for futures because of the leverage not there. But with Forex, you open up an offshore broker account with $1,000, and then you risk, 1% of that per trade. Then hey, you're essentially trading a $10,000 account so long as you have like high enough leverage. And essentially that's what I'm doing. I'm finna flip. I just opened up $1,000 account and I'm finna flip it. It's already up $300 now, right? In 2 days. So anyway, that's enough of me yapping. But I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Tell me what you think. How's your progression been along this journey? How long you been trading for? But yeah, until next time, I'm out. Peace.